Hi, this is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Jamie Johnson from Holy Grail Games looking at Dominations.
Indeed.
Fairly big box.
It is a big box. It was very heavy to carry over here, in fact, so yeah.
Okay, well, we thank you for making the effort. Maybe you can talk about
for my art. I suffer.
Maybe talk about what's going on.
So,
what are we dominating in this game?
Shouldn't ask that question in Germany, but never mind. So, this is Dominations. It's a civilization building game, basically.
Okay.
A lot of the people in the team are fan of Civilization games, and so we wanted to do one with a bit of a twist. We wanted to take a couple of concepts that we liked and change a couple of things we didn't like. So, for example, we didn't want a civilization game where you could be wiped off the table in the last turn, or that went on eternally, but we wanted the good things, like we wanted to have loads of technology and, you know, building up your combos and having your engine and everything going. So this is what we came out with. Obviously, I'm very biased. I think we nailed it, but, you know, obviously I'm the wrong person to ask.
Okay. So is this just what we're starting with, or what are you giving us here to look at?
So basically what we start with, I mean, this is a sort of like mini setup just to illustrate things, obviously. I mean, what actually starts on the board is this tile here. Okay. This is what we call the Cradle of Civilization, because the idea is...
a hexagon.
Exactly.
That is the cradle.
And what's going to happen is, in this game, we're going to go over the space of thousands of years, which is a fairly important concept because we're not even going to concentrate on things like gold or stone or wood.
Because we're looking higher level.
Exactly. We're talking about knowledge. You know, what is a civilization remembered for? Its accomplishments, its knowledge. You know, everything it did, not that it had a bit more wood than some other people.
Okay.
So we start with the Cradle of Civilization, and instead of having like a map like you might see, a standard kind of map as you might see on some games, we went for these triangular dominoes with these knowledge nodes on the side. So this is kind of like the domino matching game, part of it anyway. At the beginning of each player's turn, they'll have a hand. Of course, there's plenty of dominoes, each with different configurations, and each domino has a camp and knowledge nodes. And basically, you're going to connect those together in order to generate your knowledge. There are 6 different types of knowledge. You keep track of it with your little slider. At the beginning, you can only hold a small amount of knowledge, obviously, because you're just kind of like coming out the caves and starting your rudimentary civilization.
That's right.
But as you build like big towns and then cities and then wonders, you can get more and more knowledge, which allows you to build bigger and better things, you know, bigger and better technologies. The standard kind of civilization fare, shall we say.
That's right. Expand your capacity.
Exactly. So these dominoes represent your civilization striking out and exploring. The camps in the middle, the coloured camps, you can build cities on them, which is what these tokens are. Obviously, one token is a level 1 city, then level 2, level 3, it gets bigger and bigger. You can score points off your cities, it's what allows you to get more knowledge, all that kind of thing. And basically, you explore to generate your knowledge, then you can build, so that's either building cities or wonders, so these don't start on the board, these are like common objectives that all the players can contribute to, but the first player that contributes gets to place it somewhere, and it has its effects. Some of them block off parts of the board, so you start to have, well, for example, the Great Wall, obviously what's on this side of the wall is what we're trying to keep out, so all of a sudden anything around here, you can't get at. And you can get bonuses for being around those monuments. They all have different effects and powers and that kind of thing. And there are 12 in the base game. You draw 1 randomly per player at the start of the game, and then you use them to the best of your abilities. After the build phase, we have a research phase, and obviously this is when we really get into the civilization side. We have a load of technologies, 3 different levels, which cost 3, 6, and 9 knowledge respectively, and they go up in power. So your level 3 technologies, very few of them really score you many points. A lot of that is your engine, you know, making more resources by doing other resources, that kind of thing. 6, then we start to get the real scorers, and 9 is like your big scorers based on your strategies. So we have 6 different types of knowledge, and I've got to rattle them off, I hope I remember them. Agriculture, science, religion, art, oh man, it's been a long day, it's been a very long day. Trade and civics. Government, there we go, I got there in the end. And each knowledge has its own specialization. You mix them together, you make your combos, you make your strategies, and that's what powers you through to earn your points. And the player with the most points at the end wins.
Well, because we have this dual point
We
track.
do. So the middle is the scoreboard. Obviously, that's fairly simple. Everybody gets that. You earn points, you move up the track. The outside, however, is what we call the influence track, because as I mentioned before, we didn't want a game where you could, well, my knights destroy your castle and wipe you off the board in the last turn. So what we have is influence, and that can be commercial influence, religious influence. It's your civilization's ability to exert its influence over everybody else. And that resolves itself in some really cool effects that are really good for you, but not detrimental to everybody else. It's our answer to warfare without being actual open war.
seems a little more modern as well.
We
There's
like
a
to
lot
think
of
so.
influence that happens before war.
Yeah, exactly. But
How
like,
things go on.
I really like Megasiv. Really like Megasiv, but I played long games of Megasiv, and then the last turn somebody just can't do anything because we've beaten them up so bad or something like that. So there you go.
Okay, so there you go. Well, I feel I should mention, I don't know if you know, right? Princess Tresham died yesterday.
Sorry,
Princess Tresham died yesterday.
Did they?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I don't know, just talking
no,
about Civilization
No, I
games.
did not know. I did not know, actually. No, I've the last 48 hours have been a blur for me with Essence, so, but okay.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, it's just like a tribute to...
I was feeling so good about this video, now I just feel sad.
And now I'm laughing at your sadness on there. Sorry about that.
It happens.
But I mean, it's interesting too, sort of thinking of him starting a genre of games.
Yeah,
and
no,
there's
definitely.
all sorts of
And then me turning up with a
evolutions
new
from
game the
that.
day he dies.
Well, it's just the evolution of the
course.
concept and how it branches
no,
off
for
in
sure.
different ways.
I mean, a lot of other people in the team are slightly older than I am, and they played the first Civilization way back when, and they love that game. But it's true that when you look at how Civilizations come, how like even things like how the video game influenced it and all that kind of thing, it's also, how can I put it, it's a genre that just will never die, as it were. It'll always be popular because there's just something I think players love about Civilization games, about starting from nothing and molding something of your own, and hopefully having it be very successful.
Well, as you're talking about too, sort of using different scales for how
Exactly.
you can think of a civilization.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's another thing we try to replicate here, like, in case anybody's wondering, the key to success here is not just to build all the level 9 technologies or make the level 3 cities. Like, there are strategies for building loads of small cities, a la Mongols, for example, or like massive cities like Romans. There's the way I think you should approach a Civilization game is really, a little bit of taking advantage of the opportunities that are presented to you, but also, your personal flavor. Do you want to be like, have this great empire or this really sparse but spread out one? It's one of the things I love about the genre. So there you go.
Well, thank you very much, Jamie.
My pleasure.
Overview of Dominations from Holy Grail Games.